Hey everyone, quick disclaimer before the video gets started. Even though this episode does have a bit of a nautical theme, I am not testing out a new pirate cosplay. You'll be seeing me wear this patch for probably at least a few videos while I'm recovering from the eye surgery that I had. There were some complications and a second surgery is going to be required, so I don't know how long this eye is going to be out of commission, but until it doesn't look like zombie eye under here, I will be wearing this. So anyway, enjoy the video. Hello fellow members of the Midnight Society, welcome back to another episode review from the show Are You Afraid of the Dark? Last time we covered the tale of the long ago locket, a Sam story about young love and time travel. Tonight's narrative, from Tucker, is about two teens who become the targets of a curse from the sea. Submitted for the approval of the Midnight Society, I call this Season 4, Episode 3, The Tale of the Water Demons. We open on Frank arriving at the campfire to find no one else around. A backpack sits on the storyteller's seat, and in it, Frank finds a diary that says Samantha on it. He helps himself to the diary to discover something shocking.
I don't want anyone to suspect my true feelings for Frank.
I know Frank's excited, but this has the stench of Tucker all over it. Based on every other interaction Sam has ever had with Frank, there is no way I believe she wrote those words. The rest of the gang show up, and Frank gets to acting like Frank.
I know you give me a hard time. You don't have to pretend anymore.
Sam says the diary isn't hers, prompting Gary to look at it and say that it's in Tucker's handwriting. Kiki and Gary restrain Frank from killing Tucker, while Betty Ann berates him for his invasion of privacy. Sam asks Tucker why he did it, which is a pretty silly question, since at this point it seems like Tucker does a new prank each week, though he claims this time it was to prove a point for his story.
You shouldn't mess with other people's stuff, no matter how much you're tempted.
You mess with my stuff all the time.
You're my brother. You wouldn't hurt me.
That's a valid point. I mean, you mess with Gary's stuff so much, he's told 2 separate stories based on that fact to teach you a lesson, but now you're going to teach everyone else a lesson? Okay. What is it?
Don't mess with the dead. And no matter what you do, don't mess with their stuff.
That took a weird turn. Don't mess with people's stuff. Unless they're alive and won't hurt you, and then mess away. Oh, and don't mess with the dead or their things unless someone's died and then comes back and still falls into that won't hurt you category, and then you can mess with the dead's things. Everybody clear on the rules? The tale begins with our 2 main characters, Sean and Dean, in a shop owned by Dean's dad. Sean is complaining about the small town they're in. We get some voiceover from Tucker about Sean getting into a lot of trouble at home, so his mom sent him to stay with his uncle and cousin for the summer. I see.
I got in one little fight and my mom got scared. I said, you're moving with your auntie and uncle in Bel Air.
Budget Budnick takes some gum from the shop. Dean tells him to pay for it, and when he steps away to answer the phone, Sean steals money from the register and pretends to pay for the gum when Sean returns. I tell you what, the last 2 seasons have really upped the despicable kid factor on the show.
Sam, we gotta get Mom's present.
No, you gotta get Mom's present. I'm out of here.
Also, what is with the lighting in this shop? Is there no power? Is the store closed? Dean mentions it's getting dark, but wouldn't that be more reason to have some interior lights on?
Well, it isn't.
Dean is upset because the call he received was to deliver some groceries to Captain Abraham Westchester, who lives in a big house by the water. Dean hates going there and wants to wait until tomorrow, but Sean wants to go right now because he thinks they can get a big tip out of it. Dean objects, but Sean convinces him by saying,
Do it!
"Oh, Shia, you scamp." What he actually says is,
Don't be a squint. It's on the way home.
At first I thought he called him a squint, which I don't even know what that means, but I just assumed it was like being a zeeb. However, upon using the closed captions, it turns out he called him a squid. And is that really an insult, though? I mean, they're fast swimmers, highly intelligent, all muscle, and are apparently delicious if you're into that sort of thing. Which, to be clear, I am not.
Logical.
The camera braves a fog machine set to ludicrous speed, and we arrive at the Westchester house. Sean tells Dean to let him do all the talking, but my dude, if you were a Dungeons & Dragons character, you'd be rocking a 6 charisma. I wouldn't let you talk to the shrubberies.
Cool.
The front door is locked, but the boys find a note with a map drawn on it directing them to the pantry with instructions to leave the groceries there and charge the Westchester account. Dean wants to leave, but Sean insists they go around back with the gleam of larceny in his eyes. Dean also has a look. See if you can tell what it is. It's subtle, I know, but that is clearly the look of premeditated murder. If Dean murders Sean at this creepy old house and blames it on the captain, ho, Tucker, I'm just going to name you the best storyteller right now.
What are you talking about?
Around the back of the house, an off-camera grip sways a hammock while the boys enter the mansion. Inside, this happens.
It's a booby trap.
Sean, the dictionary defines a booby trap as an apparently harmless object concealing an explosive device designed to kill or injure anyone who touches it. That was a doorbell. You know, similar to the kind of thing a small shop might have to alert them when a customer enters. Booby trap. Low on charisma and intelligence.
That's not important.
Sean immediately starts grabbing for shinies inside the captain's display cases. Dean stops him, but then leaves him alone in the room while he delivers the groceries to the pantry, so you know Sean is just stuffing his pants with maritime salvage as soon as Dean is out of sight. You know who else likes maritime salvage, Sean? Squids! I actually can't back that up. I don't know any squids on a personal level.
I mean, he's loony, not stupid.
When Dean comes out of the pantry, he is treated to a jump scare by Sean, prompting the two of them to get into a shoving match, which results in...
Stop you! Yeah, try!
Don't hurt me, please. I'm sorry.
The old man who runs the haunted amusement park is Captain Westchester, and he is on edge. Dean says it looks like he could use some sleep, but the captain says he hasn't had more than a cat nap in the last 3 years. I mean, look, sometimes that's all you need. A quick 20-minute power nap and you are ready to operate some heavy machinery. Or maybe you're not supposed to operate heavy machinery. I don't know, guys. I haven't slept in days.
I'd say that's pretty bad.
The captain explains that he doesn't salvage ocean wrecks anymore because he's cursed for what he has done.
The moment I fall asleep, I'm visited by
Ghosts?
water demons.
Oh. What the hell is a water demon?
Spirits of those who died at sea. Angry spirits.
So, ghosts. Anyway, the captain says they come from when he sleeps and wish to drag him down to a watery grave as payment for taking their valuables. Dean gets weirded out and the boys leave, but as they do, the camera reveals that Sean did in fact steal something from one of the display cases. But come on, it's not like he stole it from the dead. If anything, he's a liberator for stealing the item from the person who took the items from the wreck. I'm sure the ghosts are going to thank him.
It's revenge they want, not restitution.
Later, as the captain starts to drift off to sleep, we see how impressive the fog machine budget on this episode actually was as the water demons emerge from the sea. I am super pumped for this, guys. Old-timey wrecks producing ghosts? I'm expecting to see some impressive waterlogged zombie makeup and period clothing. You tease! Back at Dean's house, we actually see his dad as he gets into a beef with Sean.
You sleep under my roof, you sleep under my rules.
And maybe I won't sleep under your roof.
Huh. Hey, sis! So, funny story. You're gonna laugh, really. Your son ran off last night, and based on the forensic evidence we found, we believe he was dragged into the ocean by what they're calling water demons. Now, it sounds worse than it is. They're actually just angry ghosts. But I think we can safely say that Sean's attitude has been adjusted. Hello? Sean actually makes his way back to the Westchester house and decides to sleep in the hammock outside. Inside, the captain falls asleep again, and the fog rolls in. This better not be another tease, Tucker.
Sorry.
Dean has gone out in search of Sean and finds himself back near the Westchester house too. How convenient. Anyway, Sean's hammock nap is interrupted in a pretty terrifying way. Sean runs away from the water demons. Wait a minute. What the hell are they wearing? This guy's dressed like he came from a zombie-themed prom. You can't mention sea curses and then have ghosts in modern clothing. That's not scary. I mean, they're all disgusting though, there's no denying that, but the wardrobe is just killing my ghost boner. Not that I get a boner for ghosts, because I mean, that would be highly inappropriate. Forget the whole metaphor.
No one will know.
I'll know.
Sean runs into a shed where he does just the worst job of hiding. What are you doing? At least pull the table down in front of you to provide some cover or search for something to use as a weapon. I'm telling you guys, low charisma, intelligence, and wisdom with no real signs of strength, dexterity, or constitution? Sean would be the worst D&D character ever.
I knew this was too easy.
The ghosts nearly get Sean, but he blows an air horn which wakes the captain, causing them to vanish. The captain confronts the boys and sees signs that Sean has been attacked by the water demons, so he takes them inside to give them some exposition.
It was on that very spot, over 30 years ago, that a yacht named the Del Rio hit the rocks and sank.
We're dealing with 30-year-old ghosts? Well, that explains their fashion sense. There's some real wasted potential here, Tucker. Maybe if the budget hadn't been blown on fog machines, you could have afforded some of that sweet historical costuming like we had in the Tale of the Long Ago Locket.
I like skating.
The captain mentions he's looted ships all over the world, but since money on the show is tight, he's only being assaulted by the ghost of the 30-year-old wreck that happened just off the coast. Lucky for him. Unlucky for the viewers. The captain says he's returned everything from the ship that he's taken except for what he traded away to acquire his current collection. Dean suggests that if they give the ghosts his collection, it might even things up with them and lift the curse. Sean thinks it's a stupid idea, but the captain is interested. He says that he'll need the boys' help to load the stuff onto a boat, but Sean refuses. Fortunately, the captain is not as stupid as Sean.
Remember, my friend, they're after you too. Once they know you, they're not going to stop.
They nearly have everything loaded onto the boat when suddenly the episode turns into a slapstick comedy.
Missing cases.
Look, everyone, I've said some negative things about Sean throughout this episode, and I can admit when I'm wrong, okay? Sean does have strength, but he failed that dexterity check hardcore, okay? As a result, Dean says that Sean needs to take the items out to the site of the wreck while he tries to keep the old man awake. And to his credit, Sean is excited at the prospect of performing a heroic act.
You want me to go out there by myself?
I think I need to hold a tournament for the most unlikable Are You Afraid of the Dark children. There is some steep competition.
And you're a snitch too. You're a chicken and a snitch. I couldn't stand being you.
Sean takes the boat to the wreck site and slowly starts dumping the collection into the ocean, pausing dramatically to declare his victory.
Here's the last piece. Now leave us alone.
Just let the tale end there and I'm happy. But this is Tucker we're talking about, so Sean manages to throw the last piece into the water, and celebrations are had all around. Dude, it's really not that funny. Especially since you and I both know you still have that little shiny you pilfered earlier on your person, but I guess the ghosts also know that they're in a horror story, so they're pausing for a dramatic final scare. Sean makes it back to the dock, and even though Dean knows his glasses were lost in the dark water, he says he's gonna go try to find them so that this can happen.
I gotta find my glasses.
Why would they attack Dean? He had nothing to do with the curse. In fact, the only person still cursed right now should be Sean.
Is this what you want? I'm sorry I took it. I was wrong. And the captain was wrong. We're sorry.
Hey, say what you want about the mental trauma. The Westchester Scared Straight program gets results. The captain wakes up and asks what happened.
Sean took it all back. It worked. The demons are at rest.
Ghosts, Dean. They're called ghosts. Anyway, Sean sees that Dean's glasses were returned, which is the least the ghosts could do since they tried to drown an innocent child. The story ends back at the shop where Dean's dad finds an anonymous note with some money in it to pay the shop back for all the candy Sean stole throughout the summer. I mean, that's great for the shop and all, but, he was stealing 65 cents out of the register earlier. Where did he get the $4.90? The captain better see if his wallet's missing. As the gang put out the fire and start to head home, Kiki finds a backpack. Gary says that it's Tucker's, and upon investigating it, he finds a bunch of his possessions that Tucker took without asking, as well as a note.
Thanks for letting me borrow this stuff. Sorry I didn't ask first. P.S. What are you doing in my knapsack?
Oh, ho, ho, ho. Tucker's the worst.
Yeah, I know.
Now for the review. I'm a little mixed on this episode, though my thoughts are more favorable than they are negative. I think there's a decent story and arc for our characters, some sweet ghostly mythology, and solid makeup for the demons. What really holds this back for me is the choice to make the ghosts so modern along with their wardrobe. I'm probably alone on this, but it really takes me out of the story.
Why don't you just do the right thing for once in your life?
The settings were good. I really enjoyed the Westchester house and wish we could have spent some more time inside it. While it was obvious they were not filming on the actual ocean, the tank they used for the water sequences was a nice touch. The weakest location was the store with the bad lighting, but we barely spend any time there, so it's not really a big deal.
This place is creepy.
The story's great. I love the idea of ghosts from shipwrecks seeking revenge against those that looted their treasures. The story does take a bit of inspiration from John Carpenter's The Fog, but not in a bad way. I really like the touch of the ghosts only attacking when the captain sleeps. The makeup department also did a great job of making the captain appear like he hadn't slept in forever.
I must look like an old fool.
The scares are back! While I still hate the wardrobe of the ghosts, the slimy, ghastly makeup looked great, and there were some really strong moments. Sean waking up to the slime dripping on his head made me giddy with horrifying delight, and the appearance of the ghosts on the water was really solid. Younger me might have found this episode scary, but just like with Jaws, it's nothing that staying away from the ocean couldn't cure.
You know something, lad? You might be right.
The acting in this episode was pretty good. Sean is a great antagonist, and you're really rooting for his demise throughout the episode. I don't really buy into his redemption arc at the end, but that isn't on the acting. Dean is also great as the reluctant good kid dragged along by association.
Come on, Pustule.
The adult acting in this episode was also decent. Dean's dad is barely in the episode, but I liked his little spat with Sean. It's nice to see an Are You Afraid of the Dark parent standing up to a rotten kid for a change. The captain was the standout in the episode for me. He does a great job at seeming almost crazy from his lack of sleep, and you definitely believe his fear of the ghosts. I mean, demons.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tucker, even though I'm a bit split on this one, I'm going to say that the Tale of the Sunken Spirits, aka the Tale of the Water Demons, meets the approval of the Midnight Society. The Midnight Society members poll on this one was pretty one-sided. At the time of recording this video, it was 96% in favor of with a mere 4% against. So, you win this time, Tucker. You win this time.
Didn't you get anything out of my story, Tucker?
I want to thank the following Midnight Society members for participating in this video's poll, but I'm just so sleepy. What? What up? Oh, sorry about that. Was I snoring? Oh, weird. I'm gonna go get some coffee. The name's on the screen. What did you all think of Tucker's story? Did you see it as a kid? If you were pursued by a 60s prom ghost, would you be scared or just disappointed? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to check out the next episode on the Tale of Cutter's Treasure, Part 1. Until then, are you afraid of the dark? Thanks for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like and a share. Don't forget to subscribe and click that bell icon to be notified when more of my videos go up. And if you don't, I'll know, because I've got my eye on you.